While there's still no way to unlock him in Super Smash Bros. Melee, Sonic's life in the fast lane comes chock full of tall tales that will make anyone's head spin. Sega's mascot raced out of the gates on the Genesis back in 1991, giving Mario and Nintendo a run for their money. So it came as no surprise that Sega followed up the mega hit with a sequel just a year later. But in the rush to get the game out the door in time for the holidays, did Sega axe some content? That's what fans claim. Apparently, there's a zone that didn't make it into the final version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but is still accessible with the use of a cheat device. Back in 1992, Sega began ramping up the marketing campaign for Sonic 2 by churning out screenshots for print publications, as well as taking early builds of the game on tour to public events. Several publications ran a single screenshot of a level called Hidden Palace Zone, and when the game finally hit store shelves in November, fans realized it was missing. Several years later, fan sites began to claim it was possible to access this stage with the aid of Game Genie. In order to explore Sonic 2 properly, you're going to need access to a copy of Sonic 2 and a Game Genie cheat device. Once you've got everything hooked up and set, you'll be taken to the Game Genie screen where you can then enter codes. Enter either of these codes depending on which version of Sonic 2 you have. If one code doesn't work, simply use the other. The game should then boot up, and on the title screen, scroll down to the Options menu. Select it, and go down to the Sound Test box and enter the following numbers by pressing the C button for each: 19, 65, 9, and 17. You should hear the sound effect when Sonic collects a ring. And then press Start and exit out to the title screen. Back on the title screen, put the cursor on the one-player option like you're going to select it, and then press and hold A and Start. This will bring you to the level select menu. Now, if you did all of this correctly, select Death Egg Zone, and you'll be transported to the Hidden Palace Zone instead. After following the procedure, we successfully arrived at Hidden Palace Zone's first act. What we found was a mess, an incomplete stage with glitchy visuals and no way to advance. However, if you enter the debug code on the level select menu before selecting Death Egg Zone, you can explore the level more thoroughly, as well as advance to Act 2, though advancing past Act 2 will bring you to Oil Ocean Zone Act 1. While this proves the level is present on the cartridge, there's more to this story. Back in the months leading up to the release of Sonic 2, the game was shown off at various events, including a toy show in New York. Reports from the event revealed that Hidden Palace Zone was in a more finished state than what we found in the final game, and the level was even showcased on cable TV during 2 episodes of Nickelodeon's game show Nick Arcade. A few years ago, ROM surfaced on the internet claiming to be an early beta of Sonic 2. Dubbed the Simon Y prototype, this ROM contained not only a more complete version of Hidden Palace Zone, but a few other zones that got axed as well. The authenticity of this ROM was confirmed by Sonic's creator Yuji Naka, who revealed the prototype was stolen from the event in New York. Using a special debug code on this ROM allowed you to select from any of the playable levels. Besides a completely playable Act 1 of Hidden Palace Zone, there was a partially playable level called Wood Zone, and mention of levels named Genocide City Zone and Dust Hill Zone. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. According to interviews with the development team over the years, 2 other zones were in the concept stage but never found their way into the final game. One of these stages, entitled Rock Zone, was supposed to have been part of a time travel element that never made its way into Sonic 2 by serving as the past level for Dust Hill Zone. Sonic may be the fastest hedgehog alive, but it looks like in an effort to keep up with the demand for a sequel, a great deal of content was left in the dust.